coverage of the Central Kansas Free Fair Parade is brought to you by Harris Crop Insurance, West's Plaza Country Mart, Best Roofing, Robson Oil Company, Dickinson County Bank, Abilene Termite and Pest Control, Home Automotive Center, Ike's Place Bar and Grill, Great Plains Theater, Riddle's Western Wear, Mary Maids, Ag Trails Co-op, Great Plains Federal Credit Union, Denny's Plumbing and Heating, Rawhide Portable Corrals, Stevens Chiropractic, Abilene Machine, Pioneer Farm and Ranch, and Eagle Communications.
Dennis Weiss, Eagle Communications, welcome to the Central Kansas Free Fair down the main street of Abilene Parade. Got Brian Dennett over here on the microphone, David Hawksworth on the camera, and I'll bet, what, 10,000 of our friends up and down the streets.
Oh yeah, right down Broadway, and then they turn on 3rd Street and go back to the fairgrounds. It's a huge parade, a wonderful parade, and we're happy to be with you this afternoon. Nice weather for the parade as well.
91 degrees, our friend Dave Hawksworth tells us. And the kids are standing up, headed for the street because candy's on the way. We got Disco Bob with the American flag today, Brian.
Oh.
Take my official cowboy hat off here. Dickinson County sheriffs are walking. State troopers and the Abilene PD leading the parade today. A lot of years Bob's carried that flag in this parade. So Brian, grab your microphone. Do you know the story of Sheriff Bill Davis?
I don't.
The only 2 law enforcement officials who've lost their lives in the line of duty in Dickinson County, Kansas. Long time ago.
That's a beautiful car, beautiful car. And followed right behind him is the proudly to serve you sheriffs of Dickinson County.
Mr. Swisher over here on this end, walking along with his troop, Bruciazzi waving at us. Sheriff Hoffman on the other side over there.
And it's the first wave of candy, and the kids are happy.
They are, they're after it.
Now look at that big, shiny, washed and polished 150-year celebration of the Abilene Fire Department.
I was watching them wash it this morning. They were after that thing. Little wax on there, I think, too.
Oh, yeah. And Grant Township Fire Department getting to ride along.
You know, that's kind of funny that they put them in the parade this way, but that's exactly how the response goes on the edges of town. Townships respond along with Abilene Fire, and they're a great working partnership. Ron Schaus waving at us there. I think that's Grand Marshal material. Ronnie Schaus has been an important contributor to 4-H, FFA, all the ag programs out at the fairs for years.
Now, when I've done the parade in the past, this is the shot you use to promote it, which is the horses, the American flag. It's a beautiful picture, indicative of our parade and the fair here in Abilene.
Certainly is historical. Those folks are from Ottawa County. I recognize them.
All right, our first.
Go ahead.
Say our first float of the day. Here we go.
Honor, duty, service, VFW.
The VFW.
Veterans of Foreign Wars. We owe so much.
We do. And they did a nice job. They put together a nice float. And right behind them, some more people with service to the country.
American Legion riders.
And again, another nicely done float. And there's some wax on that motorcycle, I expect.
You know, these guys, they're riders, they do a lot of charitable events. They're always showing up. This is a consistent participation unit right here. Many of these same people are engaged in the prevention of suicide in our veterans community. These are the same people who show up and do the things that need to be done to encourage fellow veterans. Sam Kenner's dad right there, Lee.
Is that where she gets her love of motorcycles?
Yes, yes.
Yeah? And here they come, the Kansas Army National Guard. You see some of these on the interstate every once in a while, these young men going up and down the highway, moving equipment.
So you can see some footage of me riding that young man's helicopter here on your GoPro when you upload it.
Oh, is that the guy?
Sergeant Garcia, he's our local recruiter. It was a great time.
I bet it was. And we're not too far away from the beginning of the school year, and you can tell because they got float here with some of the athletes and some of the cheer squad.
Abilene High School, leadership, athletics, activities. So I heard this today as I was driving down the road that the Kenwood Cove is starting to close its hours down because the lifeguards and the people who work there are mostly students.
That's
so
right.
They're headed back to school. I can't believe we're talking about heading back to school so soon.
Well, talking about heading back to school, one of the things that has to happen is those young people that are coming down the street right now give up a little bit of their summer vacation to get themselves ready for marching band season and to participate in this parade and other parades around the area.
They do, and we have such a huge band tradition in Abilene. We have a great music program, both vocal and instrumental, but the Abilene band, you know, the municipal band here is over 100 years old. Many of the members of the municipal band are the kids walking right up the road in front of us.
And up first is the Abilene High School Cowboy Band.
That's probably about 50% of the actual band member. Under the direction of Mr. Tompkins over there. So this is the Band-Aids. You can guess what the Band-Aids are, right?
That's right. I think we did a show about the Band-Aids at one point.
These are the parents that do so much to make that possible with those kids. So they buy instruments, they raise money for instruments, for costumes, for trips, and every event they go to, the Band-Aids are there with refreshments or necessary nourishment to make sure those kids are just as prepared as the other kinds of athletes at Abilene High School.
Well, coming up now, you're seeing the Junction City Fort Riley Shrine Club.
And the mini car with the Bear family. Huh?
And now we've got some Salina Shrine Club as well.
Can't have a parade without mini cars and Shriners, Brian.
That's right. Well, you were talking about the band earlier. I think that's the largest marching band I've seen in a summer parade. I mean, that's a lot of kids that dedicated some time to come back and be in this parade.
And most of those are underclassmen, you can tell by looking at them.
The Topless Travelers. Beautiful car.
Slick old car.
That is.
Delta 88. Oldsmobile.
And the clowns going through the parade, followed by the organ.
I suspect that's technically a calliope if it's a parade organ, right? I mean, I don't know what the difference is, but I hear the word used when they go along in metallic pipes and all that. But I wish you'd turn it on.
Well, yeah, there's not anybody back there to perform, but following this up is the official vehicle of the rodeo.
This is Miss K-State.
And boy, what a rodeo.
Kansas, Marshall Motors, Dodge Ram rodeo truck.
If you hadn't had the opportunity to see the Wild Bill Hickok Rodeo, you're missing out. It's a wonderful event. There's some of the rodeo clowns. They do an amazing job. Very entertaining, too, during the kind of lulls in the parade.
Ethan McDonald over there in that vehicle. He is a local boy. He's the son of Rawhide Correll McDonald. He was a student athlete at Abilene High School, rode a few bulls with his dad, and decided he wanted to be a bullfighter, and he's a darn good one.
All right, Tough Enough to Wear Pink Night Friday at the rodeo.
Looks like we might have some royalty of some sort in the back. Maybe they're just highly decorated individuals.
I think there may be just highly decorated individuals. We met some of the royalty today when we were doing interviews.
What is this?
That's one big vehicle.
They had to start planning a turn last week. Hey, look.
In some parades, that's the entire parade from one end to the other.
We have another Weiss showing up over here to guest on the microphone.
All right, I'll pass it off. Lexi, hi.
Hi, thank you, Brian.
Great Plains Theater must have kicked out their stage manager for an hour.
Oh no, we stopped rehearsal. We could not miss the parade. It opens the fair. Oh, I might know some of these people coming.
Riley Volkman in the truck here. Spencer Riffle.
Oh, I know the Riffles. Hi.
The middle school band under Mr. Weishauer.
Yes. The middle school band is always so impressive. Do you know the words to the fight song?
I do not. You should.
I do.
I can make some up.
I see Warren Campbell, who is a part of our Shrek production. That's why we had to get out of rehearsal early.
Right there. So Brian and I were talking when the first band group came through that Abilene's tradition of excellence. There's no better example than the arts program that just walked in front of us. Mm-hmm. The band program has always been excellent here, and it's largely because of leadership of the two fellows who are marching alongside their individual groups, Mr. Tompkins and Mr. Weishauer.
The Abilene band has always been great. I got to go to the high school, and I had a lot of friends in band that still talk about their fond memories of Mr. Weishauer and Mr. Tompkins.
Almost Home Realty. Shelley Crane,
Oh.
Alyssa Green, Andrew Brown.
They were smart and did the beach thing.
And they have a tubby.
Oh my goodness, is there water
That's the
in that
happiest
pool?
girl. I can't really tell, but I'll bet there is.
Oh, they have
Throwing
beach balls. That's
balls.
exciting.
Now that has to win a prize, I'm thinking.
I love their little lighthouse. That's adorable.
That is adorable.
And here's the part of the parade that I could never do. The baton twirling.
Well, they have hatchet tossing.
Listen, I was really good at baton throwing and baton dropping. Those are my special skills on my resume.
Tumbling and twirling.
Tumbling I'm good at,
Yeah, tumbling.
but only
you did
unintentionally.
Okay with. So here's Representative John Barker. John's a friend of mine. Honest to goodness, you know, people say friend, friend, friend. John is a friend to me. He's always been a good guy. He answers my questions, even the ones he doesn't like. I appreciate John as a person. He's running again for the Kansas House. And they're the Wild
hi,
Bunch.
Heidi Anderson, Kansas Best Realty.
I asked her what we should say about her. She said a few things about how good a real estate company they are, but I nodded at her. But really, it's the place where pretty girls and wild women go to sell stuff. That's what we're saying on TV. And all of them are home. Both sisters are home. Karina and Hannah both.
I saw Karina over
They
there.
both have new names on the end now, but they're still the Anderson girls to me.
Ooh.
performance.
Oh, we just did a leap
Dance
and that was a handstand and a flip and a lift. Oh my goodness.
What's the ballet girl doing?
Oh, being very pretty. Oh, her point shoes are adorable. That was very impressive for this little group of girls.
Confidence says on the back of that trailer.
I would agree. It also teaches you how to be more in touch with your body, and just if you're kind of gangly, dance is a pretty good choice.
Many professional athletes are using dance to enhance their footwork as well. But it's just good for the soul.
Nothing
is it
against
not?
rhythm. Home Automotive coming up
I can
now.
do a two-step and prove it to you. Home Automotive, the largest collector of retail sales tax in Dickinson County. Economic development every time I get a camera and a microphone, you know. So not only are they nice people with great, beautiful vehicles, but they are such an anchor to our business here in Dickinson County, especially retail sales tax.
And they are so good about giving back to their own community. I can only speak from Great Plains Theater's perspective, but they always sponsor a show, and there have just been so many times where we've reached out to Tim Holm for help, and he has come through, and it's great to see that sort of community support.
So I can add on to that. When you say Tim Holm in the philanthropic community, breast cancer awareness, there's nobody who's been on that better or longer than Tim Holm. He's been a consistent provider of leadership in the effort to fight breast cancer here in the county.
And the event that him and Brenda put on, it's just amazing. I've gone the last 2 years that I've been able to go, and it's always just a wonderful evening full of impactful stories and powerful messages.
Part of the reason we put a camera up here and film a parade, well, everybody who can't come loves to see it on TV, and we put it on the web too, but part of it is to be able to say these things and put it on the record that, you know, successful businesses here in town, they are really great about sharing what they have grown with us in the community through organizations like Great Plains Theater, Breast Cancer Awareness Group, the hospital, digital mammography, all of those things. How's the wind on our microphones, Dave? Are we all right? We're good.
Good? Great.
Now here, you have your basic track skid steer right there in front, Caterpillar. Then you have your payloader here, or wheeled loader.
You know, I think that one was called Scoop on Bob the Builder.
Yes, Scoop.
That is...
He's still out under the barn shed.
That is the extent of my heavy machinery knowledge, though I could still sing you the Bob the Builder theme song from top to bottom. No, thank you.
Okay. But Foley, this is from Foley Cat, which is in Salina. They are an important player to the industrial marketplace around here. And it's good to see them bring their wares to the Abilene Central Kansas Free Fair Parade, because they're telling us we're here, we're alive, we're doing business, we have these things, we support cities, counties, buy this type of equipment, private businesses. Blix Construction over in Chapman uses this kind of gear. And their service truck right behind, which is probably just as important as the gear in front.
Oh, definitely. It's also a great reminder that, you know, we're from Kansas. Community doesn't just mean the town that you live in. Community means, you know, the areas surrounding. And we're in a very wonderful community here with Chapman and Abilene and Salina.
So very well said.
Oh, thank you. I get it from my father.
Be careful, your mother's float's coming up here pretty quick. Abilene Rental, he's another friend of Eagle, he's a friend of Abilene, and he's a friend of the community. And I rode a helicopter with him, Army National Guard. He and I flew out over Beloit and over Glen Elder Lake.
I was about to ask, can you rent a helicopter?
Well, we could with a little extra work, we could. Hello, Mr. Picking. But I asked him one time in his shop, I said, what can't you rent here? And he said, nothing. You just have to give me a little longer notice.
All right. Well, for all of your future helicopter needs.
So do you know where we got the lift to paint the ceiling in your Great Plains Theater?
I'm going to go with Abilene Rental.
That's right. And he didn't charge a dime for it.
That is
Don's Tire,
kindness.
Another anchor institution on the south end of Buckeye. Industrial tires, farm tires, car and truck tires, and they actually still work on stuff and fix flats down there.
That's awesome.
Rawhide Portable Corral, one of the true entrepreneurs in the business. the Mcdonald family, and this is a great, great business.
I believe they're a sponsor.
They are a sponsor.
For an event that's coming up.
For an event, Saturday night at Great Plains Theater, Eagle Night is going to be these fellas and gals right here. And they're going to be doing cowboy poetry and having more fun than the law allows by a considerable degree. Look at them, how happy people they are.
They're waving.
They have no idea.
Nice.
Hey, Rocky, gonna have breakfast? All right.
Did I just hear cobbler? Cobbler sounds great.
I'm gonna fix up a hamburger and bean and chili's dish to take to that breakfast. Rocky doesn't know it yet. Now here we go. I saw this come into town earlier. This is a truck and tractor pull event advertisement, which is happening this weekend over north of the baseball fields. There's a regular old farm tractor in the middle sort of thing, and the two antiques, and they pull them all here in Abilene, from the little ones to the great big turbo blown tractors and trucks. It's going to be a loud, noisy, dirt pulling show.
Mm-hmm.
Stout Service and Sales Lawnmowers. They are just south of the depot in the street over on Cedar Street. On Cedar Street, just south of the tracks. Big Dog Mowers, Hustler Mowers, everything that cuts grass. I need a mower.
Well, there are a couple driving by you relatively slowly right now.
There are.
The Country Mart van, those are friends of ours. Country Mart just actually supported our cast blast for Shrek and donated all of the meat that we prepared and served to our actors. We were super grateful.
The West family is one of those families that what they do every day at Country Mart is important enough.
Mm-hmm.
But what they do outside of that for the community that many people don't know is just as important.
They're another one of those businesses that every time someone asks for help, they ask, how can we, instead of saying,
Joe
no.
Swartz is running for the Kansas legislature this year, Kansas South 70th District on the Democrat ticket. And she has a bunch of friends in her trailer all waving at us.
Mm-hmm.
Endorsed by Kansas Teachers Association.
Oh, a bubble machine. Nothing says fun like a bubble machine shaped like a fish.
You're going to be a sucker.
Here we go.
She's got your vote.
I know who I'm voting for. Does my vote come with the bubble machine?
The pony's got my vote.
Pony 2020.
Look at that.
I love what she's done with her hair. Who's her stylist? What are you wearing?
Bloomin' 4-H. That's what it says on the back.
That's cute. 4-H club then.
Yeah.
That's some really clever. Does the parade have a theme? I have no idea.
I don't think it does. If it does, they didn't tell me.
Okay, well, I love the flowers. That's adorable.
What's it say on the side of the car?
That says Parents as teachers. There we go.
Parents as teachers. Well, we should know that group.
Parents. Well, the P was flipped up. Parents as teachers.
So where were you at trivia night last night when we needed you? I couldn't have figured that out.
I was at Hobby Lobby.
Mr. Schwab running for Secretary of State as a Republican. Coming down the road. If he'd loaned me that Jeep.
Mm-hmm. So what you're saying is you can be bribed.
I can, yes. Okay. I didn't say what I would do if he loaned me the Jeep. I just said if he would, I would take something into consideration, like telling Philip Seed Farm to consider Mr. Schwab for Secretary of State.
Mm-hmm.
Philip Seed Farm, you know where they're at?
Absolutely no clue.
South of Abilene, about 10 miles on the way to Hillsboro. Kimmy Phillips.
Okay.
Related. Last Chance Graphics. Mm-hmm. But most folks don't know Lexi. They're one of the leading breeders of modern grain seed stock in the Midwest.
Wow.
Which is important to getting yields on dry years like this year.
Mm-hmm.
And who are these yahoos here?
This looks like a truck full of miscreants.
Holy mackerel, there's trouble everywhere.
You think we could have them run us up a popsicle? That sounds like a great idea.
Popsicles to the Eagle Communication booth. Popsicles
I got
to the
a
Eagle
great catch if you can
Communication
throw.
booth.
I think they're ignoring you.
I think they are. When that guy comes back, he's not going to ignore me, though. Don't worry, we have more popsicles
Oh,
coming.
good. Oh, good. I remember riding in an Eagle truck once. That was fun. I definitely ate a few popsicles.
Hey, Tyler. Hey, Tyler, I need a popsicle up here. We need 3 or 4. Let's go.
My favorite color popsicle is red.
Tyler Klaus and his wife and baby moved to Abilene to open up Eagle Technology Solutions Group, are the people who go work on stuff inside your business. Your computer doesn't work, we fix it. And that's our young man that leads that division over here, and his wife and who works in Salina, and their baby. So cool to see the family out there. Our Eagle Communications, our community connected right to that carriage. Not as nice as carriage as you had, though.
No, not everyone can have a princess tram.
You gotta eat these for the.
Got my hands full.
You got to. So we have Stan Parsons driving that bucket truck. Stan and Eagle Communications and that bucket truck are the same words. He worked for the company we bought the system from. Stan is so important to the services that we put down these copper cables and these fiber cables up and down the alley. Stan knows our system inside out. We're sure lucky to have him. The 99 kg, that's the Eagle Radio Group out of Salina, supporting our parade. M&M Tire.
They changed my
our neighbors
oil.
right down the street here. They do a lot of work on our Eagle trucks. Our Eagle cars keep us going.
My favorite thing about M&M Tire is when I walk through the door, they know who I am.
Isn't that great?
I love it. Oh my goodness,
Bo's
the truck
waving
is a
at us.
cow. How
The truck
cute.
is a cow. You sure it's
Abilene
not a pig?
Animal Hospital.
It's a cow.
I think it's a cow. It's spotty. That's adorable.
It could be a pig.
It could be. What I want to know is, how did that tiny horse get lucky enough that it didn't have to walk?
Looky here, Mike Whitehair. That's how it got lucky enough. He's pulling it on his John Deere tractor.
That is so
Growing
cute.
in the community.
Well, it has little legs. It would be hard for him to keep up.
Oh. That's a nice pony.
That is a cute
He's
little
having
pony.
a good time. He's getting a little treat right there.
Yep.
And we got some honest-to-God cowboy-looking folk trailing along behind there.
You can tell because their pants are on the outsides of their boots.
Yes, ma'am. That's a fact. And they're sitting there like they're just relaxed. You know what I'm saying? Growing strong, confident leaders in Christ. First Southern Baptist Church, Abilene, 1400 North Mulberry, Abilene, Kansas. And they got a palm tree. That's pretty apt for the fair. It's kind of palm tree weather.
Hold on, I'm sure that's a reference. Fruits of something.
Fruit of the Spirit.
Maybe, maybe. Are coconuts a fruit?
Gentleness, kindness. Wisdom's in there too.
And a unicycle.
Not sure who these folks are.
Rev?
I know. I know who they are because El Dorado's on there. This is a group that makes those kinds of vehicles in Salina.
Oh.
El Dorado Bus used to be their name when I used to sell them AS400 equipment.
Okay.
But they put these things out to a lot of airport buses.
It's shuttles, yeah.
Shuttle buses, yep. Enterprise Estates, a nursing home over in Enterprise. Glad to see them in the parade. So what's Great Plains Theater show coming up?
It is Shrek the Musical, which is a full-blown Broadway musical based on the 2001 animated movie. Which, if you've seen it, you're going to love the musical because the story has stayed the same, but they've just added so many characters and lots of songs. It's a lot of fun. We've been in rehearsal for a week, and we can't stop laughing. Ogres, donkeys, puppets,
Parkwads,
witches. There's a duck.
Midwest Concrete. There's an anchor institution. If you want to know the definition of an anchor institution, it's institutions that you can't do without. Having a local concrete supplier in our community is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to the Abilene community versus hauling it in from someplace else.
They were one of our Theater Thursday sponsors this year.
McCullough is running for Secretary of State, and his first name's Craig. And the reason I know, because his ad popped up on my screen the other day. He's a soldier who's been working in the Secretary of State's office, and I think that's him right across the way over there handing out things.
Memorial Health Systems now up on Brady.
I invest a little money in those folks.
I usually do in late fall. That's normally the time I visit those people a lot.
We're so blessed to have a brand new hospital up on the hill up there.
Yes, and
staffed with local people who care about me when I walk in. They give great customer service. They're friendly. In fact, we are neighbor. We have a neighbor up there who's delivered babies, you know, for years and years. Mrs.
Bathurst.
Had all the wrestler boys.
Oh, don't put me on the spot like this.
I have to. You're the only one I've got. What now?
What now? There we
Mrs.
go. I was trying
Withnow.
to think of who the wrestlers
Katie,
were.
what now? Village Manor, owned by Memorial Health Systems. Again, a modern nursing facility. Skilled nursing age
Listen, they
care.
have a cat inside, and that's all that matters to me.
They do
But
have
it's
a
very
kitty.
sweet, and I like to pet it whenever we visit.
Tri-County Telephone, and they offer wireless phone services to compete with people like Verizon and AT&T. They're up on the corner of 14th Street, headquartered in Council Grove, Kansas.
Ooh, and they're throwing Tootsie Rolls and Starburst.
Tootsie
They
Rolls.
sprung for good candy.
Nextech Wireless is a partner of theirs. That's who actually delivers the wireless service for them.
Ooh, this looks like a fun float coming up.
Yes. I see violins. Some people might call them fiddles this time of year.
Some people might.
That is the Arts Council. And if you look at this Community Foundation of Dickinson County float, you see the building blocks of the foundation of the philanthropic organization.
Hi, Mom!
There's your mama.
This is
Waving
fun. Normally you
away.
wave at the camera to your mom.
And look at all of the things on top of there.
So there's
And
Neighbor to Neighbor, Community Foundation of Dickinson County, the Arts Council of Dickinson County, Great Plains Theater. Hi, guys! You look so good!
Look at those happy kids
Look at
from Great Plains
them.
Theater with a Shrek poster.
So many of these
Margaret
kids,
Claire
this is their
here,
first
your
production.
education director.
Now, I'm not saying I designed the flyers that they're handing out, but
But
everybody
just
better
saying.
read them. Oh, I didn't
There
even
you
see
go.
the giant bear on the float.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Happy Bear. So such an important organization. We have a lot of individual charitable organizations. The Community Foundation is the anchor at the bottom of that, the foundation at the bottom of that, that allows people to put their future monies into an account that can be spread to the points of departure that they want it to. Cans for Kansas honor flights. You know what that is?
I'm going to go with it's a recycling sort of thing.
Yes.
That has to do with airplanes. I'm just spitballing here.
They use all the money to take World War II veterans to Washington, D.C. to visit the memorials.
Oh, wow.
This is I'm thinking maybe a $500,000 tractor right there in front of
I'm pretty sure that's a DVD player. I wonder what they're watching.
you. Yep, probably Shrek.
I hope so. They need to come see it live on August 10th.
I'm thinking these are from CTI, Concordia Tractor Incorporated, south end of town. Another anchor institution in Abilene. To have a John Deere dealership here is a great thing for our ag community.
I wonder if that log was just in the way and he picked it up.
He probably just doing us a favor, yeah.
After that storm that went through, I still have some branches down in my yard.
I think a lot of people do. But they have everything. They have the big tractor up front. There's a little tractor here with a mower on it and a bucket. Wouldn't a certain guy who lives at 2997 Eden Road, Talmadge, Kansas, like to have that?
Like I said, they're driving real slow and the operator looks small. You could probably pick him up.
And a backhoe on that one.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
What more could you ever possibly
I
need?
could replace that water line that runs across the barnyard. This guy must be a martial artist. I'm guessing. Let's see. Taekwondo.
Now I know.
M. Cameron.
I know that one of our little actors is in Taekwondo. I wonder if that.
We're being filmed
is his
here by
teacher.
this fellow.
We
right
are.
here.
Oh, hi.
Yes.
I'll wave. It's like I'm
4-H
part of the
grows here.
parade.
4-H in bloom. 4-H confidence and leadership. Great organization. Every little community. That is the daughter of. Kaylee used to ride horses with her. She lives in Talmadge.
Danielle?
I'll think. Nope.
No?
Nope. I'll think of it after a minute.
Oh my goodness.
The road to paint.
That
They do
is
ride to paint.
adorable. So apparently the 4-H clubs have kind of like a flower 4-H in bloom
They
theme
must.
going on.
And they're
but
growing kids.
They are, them in the pots. That's such a
in
fun
the bar.
metaphor for 4-H because
Isn't
it
it,
does. It
though?
helps the youth grow into their passions and into their interests and teaches them how to be leaders. That's such a great idea. I like that.
Boy, that I'm gonna die. But that young girl was my ring steward for a show I judged here earlier this year. Is the reason I recognize her, and
Gotcha.
I'm really ashamed I don't remember the name. It'll come
Oh,
to me.
bouncy balls. That's fun. Well, I'm terrible with names, so you just say one and I'll
Okay.
go, and
Uh-huh.
they'll never know. They can't see that we're lying.
Hirsch Real Estate went past us. They have a candy throwing group and other bubble gum looks like they're throwing out. Which
Also
is
have some
pretty good.
bouncy balls, which is a great idea as well.
Kubota Tractor.
Cody?
Cody
Cody?
Tractor.
Coyote.
Oh,
I can't
Kathy
tell.
Sales. That's who's selling it.
There we go.
Kathy Sales. That's whose float it is. They have a little orange tractor, 2 green mowers that all look like they could really get a job done. I don't know where they're from. Let's see. Where does it say? Steve Kathy Jr. Abilene. Oh, I know
Abilene,
Steve
Kansas,
Kathy.
700 East 1st Street.
That's Captain Kathy.
Is that a standing mower? That's fascinating.
Yes, it is.
So they were like, you know all the benefits of a riding lawnmower?
Mm-hmm.
And now you get to stand.
Yeah, well, you'll learn at the National Cowboy Poetry that you can't drink beer on a zero-turn mower.
You know, I've heard that.
You're going to learn all about it at the National Cowboy Poetry Rodeo.
The finals of which are happening on Saturday, I do believe, at 5 o'clock.
5 p.m., the winners will be performing
The winners, there we go.
special performance for us at Great Plains Theater. They
Brilliant.
will have been announced as winners Saturday at noon, and
Gotcha.
at 5 p.m. they will be bringing their winning talent to the stage at Great Plains.
Oh, hello. That's a
there's
good
real
queen wave.
Queen wave there.
That's perfect. I
Victorian
love
Inn.
it. Abilene's Victorian Inn.
That's our anchor bed and breakfast here. Grace United Church of Christ help us celebrate 135 years of service right here on Buckeye
That's
Street.
cute with the cake. I like that.
For with God nothing shall be impossible. Luke 1:37. I know other verses in Luke.
I think I know what verses you are talking about.
But Philippians 4:13 is probably a better one. That I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That's probably a better reference. Hey, they're growing again
Another
in 4-H
4-H
here.
float. I have to say, these 4-H floats have
They
stayed
have
on their
gotten it
theme,
done, haven't they?
and they clearly. I just
tell
love.
ya.
I love a good themed parade. I won't lie.
Organization. Spotty and Lewison running for governor of Kansas on a Democrat ticket. He's a local Ellsworth gentleman, grew up in Ellsworth, Kansas.
How do you say his last name again?
Spotty.
Svati. Gotcha.
He's pretty tolerant on how you say it. I've learned that, by the way.
You know, as someone with the last name who gets mispronounced a lot, you
Yes.
kind of have to be.
Yes. I think it shows character.
It does.
Now, Senator Hardy, he was on the helicopter. He's in the yellow shirt there. He was on the
Gotcha.
helicopter with me last week.
Okay.
I have GoPro video of him enjoying his ride.
All these helicopter visits, and I've never received a text.
Yeah. It's a short list. Your mother got me on.
Well, there are some benefits to being married to the executive director of the community foundation.
Yes, there are.
Oh, this is CASA of the High Plains. Is that what I'm
Speak
seeing?
up for abused children in court. Become a CASA volunteer.
CASA stands for Court-Appointed Special Advocate.
Right.
And that's someone who can speak on behalf of kids. I did an internship with them once, and it was an eye-opening experience.
I bet it was.
They
They're
always
a
need
strong
volunteers.
group here in our community. I did a interview the other day with Andrea Purvis about restorative justice, and it's working with this group to take it to another level. Instead of taking juveniles who are in trouble through the court system, to take them into mediation and try to reconcile the differences between the victim of the crime and the person who committed it without ruining a young life. It was a great interview.
Abilene Place here.
That is the senior citizen facility over on Vine.
Kind of by Webb.
Emmanuel Church.
Webb Lumber?
Nope, the other one.
No? That way.
Right up by Emmanuel, the big church over there past the middle school.
Gotcha.
It's changed names.
They
a couple
did.
times lately.
Okay.
Another dance troupe.
Oh, perfect.
Dance in Motion.
Oh, this one is downtown on Cedar
The
Street.
one in front's dancing. The ones on the highway are just trying to keep up.
There's always the sections of the parade that go real quick and then kind of struggle.
Now, I don't know who owns this old car. I wish we did know, because I see it in Abilene all the time. I'm going to look carefully, see if I recognize anybody. It's a beautiful old Bel Air.
It's so
I see it.
pretty.
They drive it around just to enjoy it, which is what it should happen.
Pretty sure I had that Hot Wheel.
Ruts Construction, Enterprise, Kansas. K&R Propane, we know those guys. Abilene Hope, another propane choice. I just signed our propane contract for the year. Chapman Car Show, Labor Day. Chapman always
That's a
has a
pretty
nice
car.
Labor Day event. The Irish put on a pretty good show.
Yeah.
So Dave, you see this old truck coming up down here? I got a story about that old truck. Steve Miley's driving that truck. It was in the Dickinson County Historical Society warehouse, and it hadn't ran in 60, 70 years. And Steve said, I think I can get that thing running. And
Looks like
there
Steve was
it is.
right.
And there it is.
That is
Running.
so cool.
Hey Steve, really, that group of volunteers, he said, really the only thing we had to buy was tires because they were just rotted off of it. He said we had to put tires on it before we could ever push it in to work on it. But I got an up close and personal look at it the other night out at their location, and I took a ride in this Model A your mother and I
sounds
did.
fun.
We had a great time. They took us on a ride around the pasture. I sat in the back seat. There's more room in that back seat than there are in modern cars.
Oh, I believe it.
Just as comfortable too.
Shoot zombies. Got it.
Shoot zombies. Wonder where that's at.
I don't know, but their message is clear and to the point.
It is. That's good branding right there.
I'm guessing paintball from all those guns on the other side.
Old Highway 81 in Assyria zombie expedition. I would guess paintball
Starting
is
in
a fact.
October. ZombieExpedition.com if you want to shoot zombies, which who does not?
ZombieExpedition.com. Hey, economic development can be just plain fun. And it just drove by us. I think the cowboy gunfighters are headed our way. Either that or we're about to be robbed.
Mayhaps. I think the guy on top of the stagecoach is getting a little
Now, just
wily.
so we have our plan, I'll hold both microphones and you jump off and go calm him down if
Got
that's
it.
okay.
Got it.
He doesn't look like much of a threat. He's shooting kind of straight up. Wild Bill gunfighters.
With a horse of a different color pulling the
With a horse of a
stagecoach
different
today.
color. How much black powder you think went up right there?
Not as much as you'd think.
Auburn Pharmacy. That's just where I get my prescriptions done. So you pick up a prescription. They say date of birth. I go 8/17/57, and I go, and yours?
And yours?
And so far, 2 of them have answered me, and one of them's on the tailgate right there. The girl on the far side, I don't know her name. She just rattled it right off and smiled at me. The other girl said, "I think that's a privilege," and I said, "Well, you asked me for mine."
Me. All I know is if you go in the downtown one, you can also get a milkshake with your medicine, and that's the best pharmacy ever.
That's the best medicine, too. FNB of Hope, FNB. Bank of Hope? Is that the Bank of Hope, Brian? I think that is. First National Bank of Hope, that's what it is. There's hope for your money. I could whistle it, maybe, but there's hope for your money and hope. That's their tagline, has been for 95 years. Steve Z's, AbileneCarSales.com. They are now out on 3rd Street.
Yes,
Across
they
the
have
railroad
moved.
tracks. Opened up a nice building out there. Pretty shiny red car there, too. A 2011 Mustang.
Yes, the Mustang is red. These are facts about that car that I know. It has
There you
wheels.
go.
It moves forwards.
Yes.
I've never spoken car much, but they're very pretty.
They are pretty. And they're
Oh, that
kinda,
yellow one down there is pretty too.
Oh. I'm kind of more attracted to that truck right there, that Dodge truck or this Ford truck and 4x4 dually. We could hook our little brown trailer up and just go to Oklahoma City and whip somebody down there.
We could. I won't lie, I'm partial to the Soccer Mom SUV. You can fit a whole lot of stuff in there. I constantly have stuff.
More like volleyball mom in your case.
That is true.
I always thought at the fair, in fact, I proposed it one year to a stunned room. I said, you know, Demo Derby, what you should really have is a minivan race around the fairgrounds by moms, and they have to strap replica toddlers in the car seat, load 3 bags of groceries, drive around, unload it, and hit the green button. Because that's what minivans do.
Oh, yeah. You know, people will make fun of a minivan, but you have never driven a vehicle with more get up and go because Becky needs to be up and gone. We've got soccer practice, we have ballet, PTA, Rotary at noon. We got to go.
Right. And minivans make it possible to drive 21 hours straight from Abilene, Kansas to Clyde, New York with only Hank the cow dog to keep you company. Bennett, Buick, GMC. I like that GMC red
That is
truck
pretty.
from Salina. And Denali. That'll be fancy on the inside too.
Denali's are nice. Once again, a lot of room for your friends' activities.
Duramax diesel in this Denali Buick.
Clearly, those in the black truck have broken into their candy supply.
They have.
I don't blame them.
I noticed that.
I don't blame them at all.
Anderson for governor. Arden Anderson, Kansas governor. Dale Cowsert for lieutenant governor. That's one name I haven't heard yet, so I can read it twice. Arden Anderson.
Now the question is, whose picture is that? Think that's Arden?
I think it's Arden
I
Anderson.
think Dale's on the other side.
I don't know. Dale might be driving. Agri-Trails Co-op. We have some wireless on their elevators.
Really?
I don't know if anybody knows that, but we do.
Well, they do now.
We did a deal with them a long time ago. Tampa, Carlton, Gibson. Back in the days when I just used to get in the car and go make deals, you know, to make things happen. That they were one of the people that said yes. Nice auger wagon on the back. Vital piece of equipment, modern farms. Coag propane. With the truck, they bring the propane tank to your house and set it with.
You know, I guess I had never really thought about how they got them there before, but a special truck makes sense.
They used to have trailers that suspended the tank with little ratchets on them. They stepped up in the world.
Well, I won't
Lieutenant
lie. I want to hug that buffalo.
Yep. Well, Mr. Clues, independent, running for governor. Clues for Kansas governor.
I would go
2018.
Clues. That makes sense.
He's got nice tunes.
Mm-hmm.
Great buffalo.
Handing out thunder sticks is a good
the
idea.
Independent party. I wish we'd start another party and just call it the Absolute Rebellion Party. And I would vote for that guy almost every time until we get things the way we want them. MKC, that's the old Farmers Co-op out of town.
That is.
That is our first partner for Eagle Communications in the eastern part of the world.
When they still had a garage there, one time one of the MKC workers had to drive me home after I dropped off my car. There's nothing like a small community, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. Mr. Taylor is running for Secretary of State. Heard his ad on Eagle Radio this morning. Ag Air Incorporated. Don't know where they're from, but it's a nice old Ford pickup.
Mm-hmm.
Diesel, a genuine power stroke. Looks like maybe they do custom harvesting. Got a combine on there.
And now the ponies.
Now the ponies.
We love the ponies.
We do. We do. Still makes me shiver every time I see horses on pavement.
I know. I'm over there thinking, like, I hope they have shoes on, maybe some boots.
It's a little slick. Now, Dave Shively is running for county commissioner. I know Dave really well. Served with him on the Dickinson County Sheriff Reserves for a long time. He was a full-time deputy for a number of years, and he's running for 1st District County Commissioner. He's a good guy. What's this?
This says www.timefornick, or are you talking about the weird dance you're doing next to me?
They can't tell I'm doing a weird dance if you don't tell them.
The camera can. It's bouncing up and down. Feel like you just got to look.
We have image stabilized camera, don't we, Dave? No, he's shaking his head. I think he's voting with you. Now, this story I know. Chapman Archery Club. I interviewed this group. They shoot bow and arrows in the gymnasium over there, and they train these kids, and they go win stuff all over the country. How impressive.
Do they accept adults?
I think you could probably find a happy spot there.
I know someone who needs to learn archery. Me.
They're terrific support for those young people who want to do something other than one of the ball sports.
Mm-hmm.
There's a group of people, and again, they just don't do it a little bit. They go win things all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
They really have a great coach, Mr. Finney. Thinking, Dave? Dave's thinking, but he didn't contribute.
It's so important to give kids multiple opportunities to find their successes in areas in which they're interested.
Mr. Collier. We know Mr. Collier.
Yes.
Governor of Kansas. How are you? Tracy Mann.
Hi. Yeah, well, we can talk to you. Thank you.
Great
too.
Parade.
You're doing a good job.
He's a nice fella. Grew up in Salina. He is our lieutenant governor.
Sorry, folks. You have to do it. It's the law. So good. So good.
Lynn Peterson. I can't miss Lynn. He is a local commissioner, has been in the body politic and local government in Dickinson County, city of Abilene for a long time. Genuine good guy. Mr. Collier and Mann, running on a Republican ticket. Roida's Auto Clinic. They got that one fixed up running good. You can get any color you want in 1917 Model T as long as it was supposed to fill in the word.
Oh.
Black.
Black.
That was what Henry Ford said. You can get any color you want as long as it's black.
I respect that. Most of my wardrobe says that.
He invented the modern manufacturing facility automation, certainly enough, but his marketing team left a few things to be desired.
Those are fun motorcycles. One's for sale, nudge, nudge.
Oh, holy
Just letting you know. They don't have a phone number on there.
K&K
785-280-9254. For sale, motorcycle.
9254. Looks like they
Oh, it's the
fixed some
Cub
entries for 'em.
Scouts. Hi, Cub Scouts.
A little one. A tiny cub.
Oh, yes, another 4-H group. Who is this?
Cody
Just
Whitehair is an alumni. We did know Cody rather well. Bob Dole, we know Bob Dole. I know a 40-20 really well. I spent enough time on a 40-20 to great tractor. They're worth more now than they were brand new.
Really?
Yep. That tractor would sell for a couple $1,000s more than it did brand new in 1960 something.
I think my favorite part of this parade so far is that Brian has to hold the umbrella over my head for shade. Is this what being famous feels like?
There you go.
I could get used to this.
Yeah. He's a full service cameraman, announcer kind of a guy, I'm telling you. Warriors for Christ, I-70 chapter. Not familiar with that group, but I am familiar with the guy driving it. Of course, his name I won't recall.
That's
but
okay.
I do know him. I've never understood these three-wheeled motorcycles that are backwards. At least you're outside, I guess, but I just can't figure that out.
Well, is it a motorcycle? Is it a car?
Doug Lindahl walking behind his truck there, running for first district county commission.
If he could make Skittles all the way up here to this table, I'd be happy.
You would think standing on a hay trailer with a camera, 2 umbrellas, and a table, they would notice the Skittles opportunity up here.
Next time I do this, I'm making a shirt that says, "Throw me your candy."
DNR Enterprises, Towing and Recovery.
They've helped me out a time or two.
Have they?
Also, the kids' cars
blew up.
I was like, you're gonna say this, aren't you? You're gonna. It's lies, folks. They don't blow up. But that's a really cute parade float idea. I love it.
I think those batteries overheat and it's all over, and they have to haul them. And like, look at those poor kids that had those things. Just I hope they weren't scarred for life.
Oh, they're probably still in the burn unit.
And we have a mule, a red mule, a Kawasaki mule, 4x4. Uncle Garnett's got mules, but they don't look like that.
I bet you have to feed that one a little less.
Different kind of feed, anyway.
I'm very enthusiastic about how many people have incorporated bubbles into this parade today. It's a good choice.
That is kind of a wonderful thing.
Very whimsical.
So you will like Mr. Selzer then.
I will. And Jen Sanderson.
Another one of the governor candidates. He's a CPA. His commercials speak about his desire to audit state spending and save some money, I think, is his leading line.
Sure, that's a message that resonates with a lot of people.
I'm sure it does.
And like I said, bubble machine.
Bubble machines.
Also, the bubbles look really cute going over this hair emporium
The
float.
hair emporium.
That is up.
That's who it is.
You can get your hair done. You can get cute clothes and accessories. And right now you can get bubbles.
Where are they located?
They are, I know this street. Hold on. Are they on Broadway? I know they're downtown. You'd think I don't live here.
Okay.
That's cute. I like the foils in the hair.
Well, if they want to find them, you start out at RHV Hardware and you walk over past Benjamin F. Edwards. Then you go to the next shop and then the candle store and then the next antique shop, and you'll find them by afternoon. So just stop every place you go by.
You just kind of have to wander. You can take a full day and go through those 4 streets downtown.
I'm glad you caught my drift on that. There you go. Green team from Clay Center. They are a local supporter, believe it or not, of Abilene events and things. I have seen Chuck from the Green Team come into Abilene for charitable events. And that's the owner right there. Nice truck.
Mm-hmm. But once again, proving that community extends outside of
Right.
city limits.
Right.
Abilene Termite and Pest Control. They've helped me out a couple times too.
They helped a lot of people out of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. They come.
Oh,
they
the
come to
ponies.
the Eagle office. They once a month they come in and do their thing and go away and
They keep my
smile
workplace spider free, and that makes me so happy.
Yes. Stevens Chiropractic. Dr. Stevens.
Now, how do you adjust the horses, do you wonder?
I know how they adjust them. They adjust them just like they do people. They'll take a hind leg, they pick it up, they put pressure on the hip, and hip goes back in. I've seen it done. The guy who does the adjusting needs a chiropractic treatment after
You're done.
Mm-hmm. Chiropractic has a great benefit to your health of realigning all the parts that need realigned so your body's moving.
Standing
in
here
the
on this hay
direction.
trailer, I'm thinking I might want to visit Stevens Chiropractic
Yes.
a little bit later.
Next Home Unlimited, Becky Schwab, the realtor. That's Becky driving that fancy
It
car.
is.
She has such a beautiful smile. She always smiles and waves when she sees you out in public, which is a great thing as a person and a really great thing as a business person.
My favorite thing is if a house suddenly goes up for sale and they're selling it. Sometimes you're like, "Is that a dog?" Oh, it's just a. It's
They're
just
little
a sign.
dogs,
The dogs
kinda
are
that-
so cute. They're such a
Yep.
great idea.
Marshall Motors is bringing some nice vehicles past us. We're getting a lot of support from our car dealers.
We are.
They're based in Salina. However, Accent Jewelry, right down there,
Yeah.
driving one of those cars. The
Ah.
reason is her husband is involved in that organization, I think.
Gotcha.
They also
Our community connected.
Our community connected. They're also a sponsor of the Symphony at Sunset every year.
And that is such a wonderful event.
Isn't that
Oh
something?
my goodness. I think last year actually is the first year I've ever been able to go, and it was so much fun. I cannot wait till next year.
Yeah, it's always great. Horizon Farm and Ranch Realty. They support mostly agricultural sales. They keep the farm ground moving between the generations.
Well,
We have
that pony
Old
won a
Glory
ribbon.
coming in again. I shall doff my hat appropriately. I don't know where they're from.
I don't know.
I think they're a club of some kind because they all got red shirts. Oh, I know. That's a Buckeye Saddle Club because I recognize the lady on the white horse. Buckeye Saddle Club. I think they're the oldest saddle club around.
Really? Well, I don't know what those two horses did to win their ribbons, but I'm sure they did such a good job.
I think they
I'm
did.
proud of you, horses.
Dr. Roger Marshall, 1st District Congressman, running for his seat again this year.
Excellent.
Got a whole crew out helping him there. That little one's got the energy. Look at her
Yeah.
go.
Well, we are still at the beginning of the parade route.
That's true. They do have a ways to
They
go.
got a ways to go. People have been ready for this parade, though. I saw chairs out on 3rd Street 3 days ago. Make District 1 forgotten no more. Oh, we should say things in unison
Yes.
more often. Vote for a voice. Larry Jantz, County Commissioner. I almost said
District
co. Oh, I
1
let
co-commissioner.
us down.
Larry Jantz is running for District 1, which is the competitive seat in Dickinson County this year. There are a number of people running for county commissioner. Larry Jantz is one of them. Museum Trail Cowboys and Cattle. I'm pretty sure we know who that is. That is the Heritage Commission. Hey,
Woo!
flank that cow. Tie 3 legs. Come back and let me know when you're done. Oh, okay. Okay. Chisholm Trail, 150th. That was a great event last year.
That was really cool.
150th was a great event. Jim Barnett for governor, Rosie Hanson, lieutenant governor. Governor Field is crowded this year in Kansas, which is good. That's good.
It's nice to have options, and it's great that people are getting involved and that they think their local politics are important.
So when are you going to run for something?
Never.
Oh, you say it, you got to live it, you know.
Listen, I have to be 35 before I can be president. I got a few more years.
So there's offices just on the way up there. But I vote for you if I live long enough.
Okay.
All right.
I'll send you my campaign information when I figure out what it is.
I'd be your press secretary for a week. It'd be a fun week.
It would be fun.
I like that little Jeep. Ooh,
that is cute.
That is a cute E. I have to know the story of that. We get a picture. That looks like an old Willie's Jeep, but it's too nice. It has been fixed up or something. But unless it's a new kind of vehicle that I need to know about, because that looks like an old CJ 4 or 5 maybe. Crop service. Now I know about crop service. They're an ag and their sprayers behind it. That's a service truck to be able. They put liquid fertilizer. They put herbicide, pesticide out. Modern farming you can't do without organizations like crop service. Many farmers don't want to maintain that sort of fleet. Don't want to do the certifications, don't want to maintain the expertise to deal with all that chemical. And they can hire groups like Crop Service. MKC does the same thing. Agri-Trails that came by earlier, they do the same thing. They will come out and apply your chemicals, fertilizer to your fields for you.
And I will say, since this is the closest I've ever physically been to one, no, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot drive your car underneath. I have answered the question.
You could with a Mini Cooper.
You could maybe with a Mini Cooper or a go-kart situation. But I always think about it when I'm driving down the road. So now we know.
Maybe little Lulu might fit under there.
If you've got a Mazda 3, you can think about it.
So we're at the tail end of the parade.
We are. Turn out the lights. Party's over.
It's pretty close. Dave Hawksworth on the camera. Brian Dennett started off the microphone with me. Thank you to Brian. I appreciate that greatly. He's been our steady holder of the shade devices called umbrellas, and it has made a huge difference.
Honestly, the most important part of this entire setup. I would have gone home a long time ago.
So you, Lexi, thanks Great Plains Theater for letting you come up and do this work with your daddy.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun.
It was fun. Do it again next year.
Okay, 2019.
All right, we're wrapping up. We have the City PD bringing up the tail end of the parade. That's a fair committee right there.
Hi,
Central
Fair
Kansas
Committee.
Free Fair Committee.
The parade was great.
The parade was great, and the fair's going to be great. Anything else, guys, before we turn it down, turn it off? All right, folks, thanks for being here with us on Eagle Communications, Eagle Local 2, or if you're watching this on the World Wide Web in Shanghai, China. We appreciated being here. I'm Dennis Weiss for Eagle Communications, Lexi Weiss, Great Plains Theater, Brian Dennett, David Hawksworth running the stuff for us to make this happen. Have a great day.
Bye.
Coverage of the Central Kansas Free Fair Parade is brought to you by Harris Crop Insurance, West Plaza Country Mart, Best Roofing, Robson Oil Company, Dickinson County Bank, Abilene Termite and Pest Control, Home Automotive Center, Ike's Place Bar and Grill, Great Plains Theater, Riddle's Western Wear, Mary Maids, Ag Trails Co-op, Great Plains Federal Credit Union, Denny's Plumbing and Heating, Rawhide Portable Corrals, Stevens Chiropractic, Abilene Machine, Pioneer Farm and Ranch, and Eagle Communications.